Welcome back to episode 2 of Arguing Sports with Cody Mitchell.
Billy Laughlin.
Today's show is all about the draft, Adrian Payne, Adam Silver, and Doug McDermott. How will he fare in this? Now,
Wiggins.
And Wiggins. Predicted it, number 1 pick, Andrew Wiggins last night. Although, he almost didn't get drafted number 1 for that Three Amigos suit he happened to be wearing. He showed up in last night.
Dwayne Wade.
He went full Dwayne Wade. You never go full Dwayne Wade.
Always go full Dwayne Wade.
Never go.
Never go full Russell.
Right, full Russell Westbrook. That's no joke. All right. First off, we want to start with a couple touching things real quick. Adrian Payne, Michigan State forward that was taken. He was mourning the loss of a little girl that he had become very attached to, named Princess Lacey. He had befriended her earlier in the season. He was with them when they won the national championship, and he was very close to her. She actually just passed away recently, and he had been mourning that through the entire week leading up to the draft. So we want to say the best to him. Hopefully he can focus on his NBA career and do what he does for her, because I know he's going to dedicate a lot of his accomplishments with her and her family, who was with him last night at the draft.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they were there. Second thing real quick, Adam Silver. What the NBA did last night for Isaiah Austin was very touching. Nobody expected it, and it was awesome to see him still get to hear his name called up on that stage.
That's why the NBA is the best league in the world.
They are the best league. For y'all that don't know, he was diagnosed just a few days ago, actually, with a syndrome that will end his basketball career. He will not be able to play anymore, and it was actually lucky that they caught it now before any damage actually occurred while he was still playing.
76ers did that last year. They signed an autistic person with that 10-day contract, $15,000, and they got to hang out with the team.
He was drafted last night between 2 picks. He was drafted by the NBA. He got to walk up on stage, shake Adam Silver's hand, get his picture taken. He was in an interview. It's very heartbreaking to see a young man that is our age, that worked his butt off all through high school and into college to get to where he was. He was actually thought to be one of the highest ranked and the best prospected centers in this draft, and to see that just kind of taken away from him is very heartbreaking, and we hope the best for him. I think he plans to return to Baylor to finish his education and also help with the coaching staff of that team.
Well, I got a message a couple of days. This is the first time hearing about that and what happened. There's an insurance policy on him. He actually does get at least $1 million from the NBA.
Does he?
He does.
Now, what's that from?
They got an insurance policy in case anything happens. Since they worked hard to be there, and it's this contract they have. I guess the NBA does. If a player is eligible to draft and they're ready to draft, but something happens medically, they do get a policy which gives them at least $1 million.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm sure I believe he plans on using that to raise awareness and to talk to children, travel, and to kind of share his story and try to get kids to overcome obstacles that may come in their way, because that's what he did and that's what he plans to do. Now, got past that, moving on, talk about the draft. Kind of disappointing. We didn't see the trades that we wanted to. Kevin Love wasn't moved.
He's not happy yet. He's still...
Kevin Love wasn't on the move. There was no big major trades. Doug McDermott...
No, there was some major trades.
Doug McDermott was drafted by Denver, then moved to Chicago. I love this move.
Yeah, I think Melo loves it.
I think Melo does love it. I'm ecstatic. You get Joakim Noah, a healthy Derrick Rose, and then you get Doug McDermott maybe added with a Carmelo. Even without him, that team is a very good team.
Taj Gibson.
If Boozer returns.
I think Boozer's on his way. They're going to try to trade him.
If they don't amnesty him. They doubt that that's going to happen.
I wouldn't amnesty him. I'll trade him.
But they're going to try and trade him for something to get that cap room for him. Chicago, very, very scary team next year. Especially if Melo signs.
You got Doug, so I would go ahead and you can get a good trade from Jimmy Butler.
You can. Doug McDermott can spread the floor out. He's a good shooter. He is a good rebounder. He's physical. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. but he's just one of those guys that just gets the job done. Now, like we said, Wiggins, number 1 to Cleveland. How's that lineup look to you?
Well, let's see. Now you have a small forward, which they was lacking last year. They got Luol Deng, which he was great in Chicago.
Now, is he not a free agent this year?
Luol Deng?
Yeah.
He is going to be.
He is going to be. Do you think he'll resign with this team? Do you think they will want him to resign?
Any team, I would want him to be on any team.
I would.
He can play.
I think the Lakers are going to target him as well.
That would be a good pick. He's mostly a great defensive player.
Kind of let him play alongside Julius Randle, who was taken 7th overall by the Lakers. Kind of play alongside him, bring him into the league slowly. Even though they're already saying Randle's going to be thrown right into the starting lineup, going to be a chance to play a lot of minutes starting right away. That Lakers roster is in flux right now. It is. It's very shaken up. So
now, Cavaliers have 3 number 1 picks playing for them.
They have Dion Waiters. They have Tristan Thompson. They have Kyrie Irving. Now they have Andrew Wiggins. It's a young club. It is a young club, and it's a good club. Now, speaking of Cleveland, speaking of that attractive young core they have there, Miami Heat. We talked about it last night on our Facebook page. Miami Heat got a little upgrade last night over Mario Chalmers with Napier. It was LeBron's favorite pick in the draft. It was LeBron's favorite point guard in the draft.
He said it was the best point guard.
It was his favorite player and the best point guard in the draft. What do you think?
I think. Now I still don't know what LeBron's going to do for sure.
Now, like I said last night, let's break it down for you. The Miami Heat's salary cap is around $63 million. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, all 3 by themselves, their combined contracts were going to make around $20 million a year plus. That's the salary cap right there. When you only have 5 players, I think they have 6 players, I believe, on their roster right now. When you have 6 players and 3 of them are making your salary cap, you can't do anything with that. They have to, for that to work, even with Napier coming in now, they have to be able to take less money each if they want to stay together and try to go for another win, for another championship. They have to. At least around $5 million.
On this last contract they had, LeBron and Bosh was making $15 million a year, and Wade was making $13 million or $10 million. And Bosh, when he was in Toronto, he deserved that money, and Wade deserved his money. Now I say LeBron deserved more than what he's been signed for. Was he signed for? But he took a pay cut. Now, if Cleveland offered him $30 million more than what he signed with for Miami.
Now let me interject real quick. What about his endorsements? Does he not make enough on his endorsements?
That's why he's the second.
Alone on his endorsements can make up more than 4 to 5 probably of the entire New Orleans Hornets salaries.
Last year he made $54 million all in his endorsements and contract.
Yeah. So what is $5 million on a basketball contract?
You think LeBron's worried about that money?
He shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying.
Because he took a $30 million pay cut to get 2 rings at least.
I think if he's really so concerned about winning, it wouldn't be a problem with taking $10 million less.
Well, look where he's going. I mean, if he does go to anywhere where he wants in his plans, Cleveland, Clippers, either way, he's going to win.
He is going to win, but he's going to have to take less money. If he wants those pieces put around him, they're going to have to take less money.
Cavs did sign Kyrie Irving to a max contract like last year.
Signed who?
Kyrie.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Matt, speaking of the Mavs, the Mavs made a couple moves yesterday to open up cap space. Brought back Tyson Chandler. He is in Dallas now. They got a big man. They got Raymond Felton.
Point guard.
They got Shane Larkin. Shane Larkin went to New York.
So, Dallenberg went to New York. So
I think Shane Larkin will be a good player.
So there's no way, I don't think, that Melo's come back to New York now.
No way.
That's horrible.
In my opinion, Melo will,
either Mavs, Chicago.
I believe he will end up in Chicago. That McDermott, Rose, Heinrich, DJ Augustine, Ding, if he were to return, possibly. They've been talks about maybe him coming back. But with McDermott and Noah, who surprisingly is actually one of the best defensive and offensive big